Jim Acosta, whose claim to fame as being the White House reporter during the Trump years, and really started to get combative with Trump in a way that we hadn't seen before. Let me just say, like, part of the fact that he could be that combative actually tells you that Trump's just like all right out there in the open, right? He wears his heart on his sleeve. Whether he should or not is debatable. But Biden would do this in a back room. Like, Biden wouldn't actually spar with a reporter. Biden would have his handlers do it. Same with Obama. But no, Trump was right out there telling Jim exactly what he thought. So, no love lost between these two. I want to play you a clip from CNN that just came out moments ago where Jim starts to go in on this. It's fair to call him a fascist. It's fair to equate him with Hitler. I'm sorry, Jim, but you know what? It's not fair and it's not right. And as somebody who is a student of U.S. history, I can tell you it's disrespectful to all of those that fought, all of our allies that fought, and to the millions of people that were slaughtered, the Jews that were slaughtered in World War II. And you're going to sit there and you're going to equate Donald Trump with Hitler? I can't believe what I'm hearing. I am disgusted by everything that I'm hearing, but tell me what you think when you hear it.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison.
Okay, so this is a soundbite. This is a soundbite from, do you see in the top right-hand corner? December 16th, 2023, out of New Hampshire. So he's going on about how, we got all these migrants coming in and it's really not a good thing for America. And because he used the words poison and blood together, which, look, I get it. It may not be the best in terms of precise wording, but, he's conveying a message here. You're just not allowed to say these things. They can say whatever they want. He just can't say what he wants. And listen to how the panel goes after
him. He did report at the time, point out at the time that is the same kind of rhetoric that Adolf Hitler once used. Doesn't Donald Trump have sort of a high bar of credibility to clear here if he's going to come out and make this claim that he doesn't use that kind of language, that he's not fascistic?
Fascistic. Ooh, they learned a new word.
So look, Jim, in politics, you usually don't want a scandal lingering beyond 24 hours. I've worked on 3 presidential campaigns, a ton of Senate campaigns, congressional campaigns, local mayoral campaigns. I can go down the list of campaigns I've worked on. Yeah. And very seldom do you have an experience like this where you're trying to navigate a PR crisis, just to be quite frank. And when such a crisis does occur, you usually want the candidate to get out there almost immediately in an effort, one, to address it. You want the public to understand, like, look, we recognize that this is a mistake. And then you want to explain what.
Okay, by the way, I don't see why Trump would do that. Can I just say that this is the other side trying to accuse him of this. So what are you going to go back on your heels and say, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that? You understand how dangerous an accusation it is? Because what are you supposed to say to something like that? Oh, gosh, no, I didn't kill anyone? Come on, please. Let's get this guy off the screen. No, the answer is, you got to go in with everything you got. You got to double down and point out how atrocious it is that they would even say these things. Here's Jim.
Is that who he is?
Jim, it's not. What I'm trying to explain is not about who he is. I'm just explaining as a tactician, this is how you should typically think about this kind of stuff. When you're in a situation like this, you need to.
But how sick that they're using this line of attack. It's just sick.
Distance yourself. You want to try to ship. Go ahead, Lulu.
Let me get Lulu in
not
there.
going to be able to finish it. Just go ahead.
I do have a question about this, though.
Okay, so this is the New York Times podcaster.
Because you're saying he needs to go back to immigration, which is his strong suit. But so much of the rhetoric precisely around immigration is this very, very negative rhetoric, demonizing migrants. You have, people that are close to him, the architects of his immigration policies coming out and using language that is reflective of the 1930s in Germany. This kind of stuff is problematic, not because again, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. So if you're saying he needs to pivot to immigration, well, the problem with his immigration stance, for people who are listening and might be sensitive to this, is that it sounds like it is anti-migrant and it sounds like it is, quote unquote, fascistic.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it a bit much to say?
Again, their new word.
Wait, sure, Michael,
well,
isn't it a
wait a
bit
minute
much
here.
to say I'm offended about being called a fascist? I'm offended for being compared to Adolf Hitler when you use that kind of language. I mean, that I guess is the crux of the issue here.
So
it just doesn't pass the laugh test, does it?
I take your point.
So Jim's trying to tell us he really is. He must be fascistic. He must be a fascist because he's used some language like this. You see, they're so upset because there was this rally at Madison Square Garden where tens of thousands, 20,000 people showed up, and there were thousands more in the streets to cheer on Donald Trump. And somehow that's not allowed. Are you just not allowed to use Madison Square Garden? Apparently not, because they made all kinds of equivalencies. Oh, wow, this was somehow, ladies and gentlemen, the equivalent of a hate rally that Hitler had and the Nazis had decades ago. Why, because he's at Madison Square Garden? Should we just cancel it? Springsteen, you can't have any more concerts there at Madison Square Garden because it's associated with something else. Listen to MSNBC.
But that jamboree happening right now, you see it there on your screen, in that place is particularly chilling because in 1939, more than 20,000 supporters of a different fascist leader, Adolf Hitler, packed...
Okay, did you hear that one? This MSNBC idiot who calls himself a reporter is saying of a different fascist leader. They've gone full on, guys, with the he's a fascist. I'm like, this is unbelievable to me. This is unbelievable. There is no one there at MSNBC that is a student of history. There is no one there that is a student of economics. There is no one there that understands reality, only that they need to market one candidate only. And it's not Trump, okay? It's not Trump. So take a look. This is what they're showing you, saying another fascist, putting Donald Trump on the same exact platform with Adolf Hitler, who murdered millions of people. This is disgusting. This is anti-Semitic of MSNBC. There is no excuse.
the garden for a so-called pro-America rally. A rally where speakers voiced anti-Semitic rhetoric from a stage draped with Nazi banners. When a Jewish protester rushed the
On
stage...
and on and on and on. But you know what? I'm getting kind of upset. So let's take a moment and laugh about how idiotic this is. It's easy to get upset because it's wrong, but it shows you how desperate they are. In other words, they got no shot at winning this thing. Donald Trump nearly at 70% in the prediction markets. So what do? They already tried racist, it didn't work. They tried sexist, it didn't work. So now he's a Nazi.